Hey guys, welcome! I'm gonna be doing a little bit of a breakdown and commentary for the Mercedes-Benz of Dothan commercial that we did for Mercedes-Benz of Dothan earlier this year. Let's go. All right, so shot one here, self-explanatory. Let's hit play. All right, so shot two, that one already we got a little bit going on here. The first thing was we shot this back in March, and it was not very green. It was not feeling like summer or anything we know and love about South Alabama for sure. So this came down to a lot of color grading as far as making it feel the way we wanted it to. So this shot in particular, we boosted the blue in the sky and boosted the greens everywhere we could, because blues and greens definitely big colors in making you think of summer, feel like summer when looking at a shot, and that's definitely what we did here. The other thing is, there was two things about this. One, they apparently were mowing that day, and they had a mower and a bunch of other stuff up underneath the awning, and it was bright yellow and ugly and was not good for my shot, but that was the angle that I needed, and so what I decided to do was fix it in post. And what I did was actually a little bit of an industry hack, which was to take down the saturation and the luminance of the area. And basically what it does is keep your eye from traveling up there. And then on top of that, there was also some dirt patches and honestly, a giant clump of grass. It actually looked a little bit like a turd, so removed that as well. All right, moving on. So the very next shot here is the first time you see the Mercedes, and kind of the whole goal for this commercial was to show off the elegance and beauty of Mercedes and the aesthetic that it has just driving down the road. So we wanted to make things very clear that this was not your normal car. This is a Mercedes-Benz. And one of the ways I did that definitely was when we see the Mercedes logo, it pops, it comes off the screen. And so after the shoot, and when we're in the edit and doing the color grading, that Mercedes logo is tracked throughout the entire commercial, and it is enhanced. So just like I was talking about with the mower, making it darker in luminance and taking out the saturation, we pretty much did the complete opposite to the Mercedes logo. So your eye is drawn to that logo. And we did that throughout the entire commercial. And that was kind of some of the attention to detail that we were trying to do with this commercial, was to just really keep your eyes on that logo. So let's move on to the next shot. Kid walks off and he goes to be picked up by the mom in the vehicle. And as we can see from this profile shot right here, you might not notice anything about it. We're doing the same things like I mentioned earlier. We're boosting the blues, we're making things more green, but also this car was off the dealership lot. So there were still window stickers. So I had to remove those window stickers here in the edit as well. Okay, now this shot was not easy to get. Not only are we talking about how bright that sky is, and this is where we get into a subject called dynamic range. Basically, dynamic range is what the difference is between the light areas and the dark areas, the amount of stops of light that goes from the dark to the light. And in this shot, because you're inside of a car with black leather and black trim and everything, it's very dark in there compared to what it is outside. And we're trying to show people inside the vehicle while also pointing the camera directly at that sky. And so this was not very easy to get. I even got, if I recall correctly, one of my, yes I did, I got one of my small LED lights and I shined it up at the little boy's face, and it finally made it to where you could at least see him sitting in the back of the car. And then of course, with his, where he's sitting in the back seat, does not actually match up to what it would be in real life. Like he's sitting kind of like halfway through the seat and like looking up like this, but he's in the shot and it turned out really well. But luckily we shoot on professional high-end cinema cameras, and it allows us to get a deeper dynamic range that basically allows us to pull off shots like this that most cameras just can't capture. Okay, now this shot of downtown Enterprise also was very important. We wanted to see the Boll Weevil Monument. We also wanted to see those angel wings on that wall. Very iconic shots in Enterprise. People have so many selfies next to those wings, and of course the Boll Weevil Monument. It's a very special monument, only monument to a bug in the world. So we definitely wanted to show off, this Mercedes in downtown Enterprise. Again, we made that Mercedes logo pop, but this shot ended up being very good. I loved it a lot. All right, so here we're looking at his phone. The gentleman's phone did not read 534 originally. It read 345, I think it was, because we were shooting earlier in the day. But who really is getting off at 3:45? I'm sure there's some of you out there who might be, but generally getting off after 5 o'clock. So in post, motion tracked the thing, did some graphic manipulation, and was able to make it read 5:34 to make it seem more appropriate of a time that he'd be getting off and taking his wife out to dinner. Again, we made that Mercedes logo pop, and this is where we get back into dynamic range a little bit. This shot right here, you saw the blinker flash when he unlocked the car, and of course the mirror comes and unfolds, but in the background the sky is all kinds of blown out. The dark areas are, pretty underexposed, so what had to happen in the color grade to make it work this well is to take those brights down. Definitely had to do some masking and everything to make this actually work, and basically we were able to take the highlights down and bring the shadows up, and it gave the illusion of a little bit more dynamic range than even our cameras have. Now this shot. This is kind of the money shot for the whole commercial, and as you see here, it was not like this when it came out of camera. A lot of the best shots are made in post, and that's something we really take as a very important thing here at Caution Glass, is nailing that post-production. And in this scenario, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Again, we're talking about that dynamic range difference, the difference between the bright and the dark, but also those lens flares were not there. Those headlights did not glow like that, and the shot was way more shaky, and there was hardly any color. So there's a very important aspect to post-production that we take very seriously, and you see it come through in this shot. In this shot, honestly, it worked out so well. It's very smooth and just gliding, and it shows off that Mercedes so well. And again, like I said, we made that Mercedes logo pop in this shot, and your eye is just kind of drawn right to it. The other thing is, of course, day of, shot with a polarizer to make sure you could see inside the vehicle. Otherwise, if I didn't do that, all you would see was just reflection. You would not see the people inside the car. It was very important to use the right filter for this shot. Again, added lens flares, more glow, make it feel more important, and again, making that Mercedes logo pop.
Welcome to the family.
Now this shot was really cool because the sun was right back there. I was basically pointing the camera right at the sun. You can kind of see where it would be in the middle of the frame in the back there. And again, the dynamic range is so important. Like I said, we shoot on high-end cinema cameras that allow us to pull off shots like this, but it still needed some tweaking in post to really make this shot pop. Wanted to make that background glow, that beautiful golden hour glow that everybody loves. And this shot honestly turned out pretty well.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz of Dothan.
And this shot was on a motorized slider to make sure it's extra smooth. And even though it was on a motorized slider, still stabilized it in post. And again, making that Mercedes logo just pop.
No.
And then an evening shot of the Mercedes-Benz of Dothan lot. It was looking beautiful that night, so we definitely wanted to make sure we got this, but also the grass was kind of brown and everything because it was back in March. And so I had to make that grass green after the fact. Utilizing these techniques and many more, we could create your next stunning commercial or video. So definitely check out cautionglass.com for more information. We're gonna be doing more content like this going forward, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much. Have a great day.